Hello, everyone. Let's get started. Hope you guys have a good spring break. Today we are going to learn Laboratory 19. So please download Laboratory 19 and this Starbucks. Oh, sorry, this one I think Starbucks CSV file, and please make sure to put them in the same folder. Okay, so please run the first script and input your name, RNAME, and date. So because we have already learned the different packages like the pandas, NumPy, Matplotlib, but today we are going to learn how to deal with raw data or raw CSV files from a real world. You see here is this notebook includes a bunch of questions, requires you to utilize your skills with NumPy, pandas, Matplotlib. It's a typo here. Let's begin. So it's very important. It's closely related to the process when you process of the final project. Okay, so in your final project, you're asked to like analyze a CSV file and make some prediction. But first, you need to analyze the content of the file, right? So let's see it once step by step. The first one here, you need to read this CSV file, right? We learned what is a file and how to read a CSV file, right? We need to use a pandas library. And please make sure you import NumPy, pandas, and Matplotlib first, okay? And then please use the pandas.read the CSV file, and then starbucks.csv, right? In nutrition data frame. And that is the name of the data frame. Yeah, so it's about how to read the CSV file. Use the pandas.read the CSV, right? And next one, you need to show some samples, get some samples from the dataset. You can show for instance, you can show the first 5 rows, or in this case, step 2, you can show the last five rows. You see here, you can use a tail or you can use the head. There's no file such directory for me. Okay, so actually it's a good question, but in most cases, it's not your fault. Even though you put them together, it will show like there's no such directory for me, for you, or such file for you. You need to like restart the kernel first, and then if it didn't work, you need to restart the Jupyter Lab. Okay, so please make sure to clear the memory and do that again. Restart the kernel or restart the Jupyter Lab. Or you can try Jupyter Notebook if it works for you. I think it's a bug. It's a bug of a Jupyter Lab. I don't know. There's no common method to solve it. Yeah, so please try it. First, restart the kernel, then restart the Jupyter Lab, okay? All right, next one is show some last rows. You can use a tail function, and this method you can pass some arguments to this method. For instance, you can pass 7. It means to show the last 7 rows of the sample, right? Last 7 rows, or you can use the head function. You can show the first 3, first 7. Is the least duplicate. Yes, and please make sure. Sorry, I think let me check. Yeah, please make sure you use the right file name. Here is the Starbucks drink menu expanded CSV, no round brackets and 1. Sometimes if you have the duplicate files, you will have the round brackets and 1 here. So please make sure it is exactly the same as this one, right? So the file name should be this one. Okay, so please double check that. Okay, and okay, so let's continue. Next one, see here, you need to find the function and get a summary of the information about the dataset. So you can use the no such directory. It works now. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sure. Sure. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Right. Yeah. So please try it again. Yeah. So this way you need to get a summary of the information. You need to use the .info method here. And in this way, you can check there. Here is about how many entries here, how many numbers. It means 242, right? It means, and then all the column names and the content, the data types of the contents, right? Data types and how many numbers and non counts here. They are all 242, right? And the memory usage. So it's about the information about the data set. So please use the info. And next one is about the summary of the data set. So it's about the mean value, the minimum or maximum value of each column, right? So you can use the describe method, right? Describe method, and for all the so here you see object means they are strings, but for some float or int, they will have more information. So you can use this way to select these 7 columns, or not 7, I think it's 9 columns, and then get the count value. It means 242 objects, and the mean values, standard deviation, minimum, and the QTR, right? So here it's about the summary of the data set. So please make sure to use the right functions. First one is about info, and then it is describe. So next one is about transpose. Transpose. It means if you want to transpose column names to row names and row names to column names, you can use a dot transpose. You can write and see here calories, count, mean value, standard deviation. So the result is the content is exactly the same, but the column names and row names is different. Yeah. So it's about the summary of the data set. So you don't need to write your own functions to calculate them. You can just use the describe function in pandas. It's very convenient, right? Super convenient, and it's very useful when you analyze data set, right? Okay. So any questions so far? Okay. Next one is about how to list all the column names. So print the nutrition data frame dot columns. Then you see here there's no round brackets, no like the describe round brackets. It's a property of the nutrition data frame. So there's only a name columns, and the printout is a list, right? Index. There is about all the column names. Okay. And the next one, you can get one column, right? So here is about this column, right? So you see here, this one, number 8, right? So 7 means because it starts from 0, so 7 means it's a 8th column. And you can also check here, it's an 8th column, sodium, and then get the result, get the content from this column, and make it as a variable, right? So variable content. And next one, you can use the content to make histograms. You see here is you need to, because you have already defined the PLT as a matplotlib dot py plot, and then set a figure, set a Canva, and the histograms is a sodium color blue, and because you didn't set the bin numbers, so it will be 10 defaultly, and set the title, only the title, as you check here. So it's a histograms of the same content. So if you check from here, the value from in this column is from 0 to 40, right? And you can use this way because the bin numbers would be 10, right? Defaultly. So as you see here, if you can set 10 here. 10, it means, so it's the same. It's the same because it would be 10 defaultly. If you don't set any arguments to the bin numbers, it would be 10. And from 0 to 10 to 40, so it means each interval would be 4. So it means the first bar would be the numbers between 0 to 4, and the second one would be 4 to 8, 8 to 12, right? So that's what it means, right? So it is the first bar, it means there are over 100 numbers are between 0 to 4, right? And then all the hat, they sum up, it is 242. Yeah. So it's how to understand these histograms. And next one is similar, right? But we set 2 more labels, right? X label and Y label, and set the different bins. Here is only 7 bins. So that's why here 7 bins means it's 40 divided by 7. It's not 6, right? It's larger than 5, but smaller than 6. So it's maybe perhaps it's 5. It's only 5.77, right? So here is the 5.7. It's used to calculate the numbers which is located between 0 to 5.7. And then here is a little bit different, but the edge color would be black. So in this way, we don't have the edges, right? Color of the edges, but in this way, it's black. Then you will see the edges clearly, right? In number, for instance, here if I choose to 5, so no, 4. I think 4 would be better. 4. So 4 means it means 4 intervals, and each intervals would be 40 divided by 4 is 10. So the first bar would be 0 to 10, right? 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. And how many numbers are between 10 to 20 is like about 40 numbers, right? So it's about histograms. So you can use this way to plot a figure to show it more clearly. So it is about the histograms. Okay. So any questions so far? All right, next one is about the unique categories of beverages. So we need to use the functions from the pandas lab. So here is nutrition beverage category dot unique, right? It's about the unique categories, and you can use ununique, it means the numbers of unique, right? And then it will list the array about the how many different categories. And after that, we need to learn how many categories that each calories of each categories of beverage have. So first of all, in this way, you need to have 2 columns, right? You need to get the relationship between the beverage and the calories. So first one, you need to use this column and then this column from the data frame. So that's why here you need to use a double square brackets, right? Because you need to generate 2 columns. And the last one, and after that, this is a slice. So for instance, here, let me show you. So here is you slice these 2 columns, right? And the column names would be the original one, beverage category calories. So if you use this way, so let me show you the difference. You can rename the function, you can rename the columns, right? Sorry. Run in. So see the difference? The column name would be different. This is a beverage category, but the second one is only the category, right? Because we write this code, we set the columns, right? If you remember in step 4, I think it's step 4 or not step 4. Where is it? Step 3. Step 5. So list all the column names. So it is used to show the column names, right? But you can also rename it. Use this way. Rename it. Use a list and then the first one would be the first column, second one would be the second column. Here's one thing to notice is you need to make sure the number of the elements would be the same as the columns of this data frame, because even though the second one would be the same, so the second one is about the calories is the same, right? But we also need to set it here. So it means you need to list all the names if you want to rename it. Okay, so it's about one way. It is a better way to rename the column names of a data frame. All right, right. It's about calories and categories and calories from 0 to 241. So there are 242 rows and 2 columns. But there are many duplicates, right? So here, coffee, you see there are several categories which is marked coffee. So we need to like combine them, group by them, and combine them and calculate the mean value, right? So we can use this way to set because if we want to draw a plot, we need to have two lists, right? So here is the one list is what the first column, and then two lists, the second list is the second column, and then set a canvas and set a horizontal bar, beverage axis, calories, set y-axis, color, hat, and then set the x label, y label, and show it. So you see here, because if you notice here, there are 242 rows, but there's only like 9 bars here because there are many duplicates, and it will combine them together. And you can also check it. So it is about the number of each bar, because it will first calculate the mean value and then draw the plot. Okay. So for instance, here is about the how to use the group by function and how to get the mean value from here, because there are many duplicates. Okay, so any questions so far? So in this way, the code is right, but it's not friendly for users or the researchers, because they need to read and understand that there are some duplicates, right? So a better way is to calculate the mean value first and then generate the plots. All right. So here, how many calories does each categories have? So first of all, you can generate it and group by mean and reset the index. Reset mean index means it want to clear all the. For instance, here, if you don't set it, that's right, and see here. So I think in this case it's the same, but in some other cases it's different. I think it's the same, right? So here you see there's a calories, right? So if you don't set the index, it means it is a group by. It's a group by column, and right. So you need to reset the index. Then it is a normal index column names, right? And after that, use this data frame to generate the figure, so it's more clearly. Right? So it's a better one, because you need to calculate the mean value first and then generate the figure. Okay. That's about the step 9. So any questions so far? Okay, next one is about step 10. So which Starbucks has the highest calories. So in this way, you need to do the sorting, right? You need to do the sorting. So actually, it's not necessary, I think. Sort the values and then ascending, set in place, right? And in this way, set in place. So it means the first one would be minimum and last one will be maximum. And after that, draw this one again. So draw this again. So the last one will be the largest, right? So you can see it very clearly. Because you have already sorted the data frame. So it's very clearly. So please learn all the functions because you need to deal with the data in your final projects. Okay, it's very important. And the last two is about the how to plot some figures. Here is about plot of histograms, right? So you set a histograms, set a figure, and do that again. It's the same as you do it like in step 5 and 6, right? So you can set the bins and you can set the edge color or different colors. Set the bin numbers. You can change it, right? And last one is about observe the relationship between the colorist and beverage preparation method using a scatter plot. So it's very important. So if you want to observe the relationships between that, you need to have first you need to get these two columns, right? And in this way, we can use the calories as the x-axis and the beverage preparation as the y-axis, and the set is a plot scatter plot, and the title x label y label. So you see here is you can see here the calories is very small, then it's a tall, short, or solo or milk. So you see all the whole milk they have larger calories, right? So you can observe this figure and see why this one is so large, right? So large, and then preparations are so large, and you can get your own conclusion, right? So it's very clear. So if you want to get the relationships, first you need to retrieve these two columns and then plot them in the same figure. A scatter plot is a better choice, okay? And for the histogram is used to show only one column. This is about two columns, right? Or relationships. Yeah. So any questions so far? Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So I think that's all I want to share today. Please make sure you understand all the functions, and please make sure you run all the cells and show me the results. Okay. So yeah, there are some documents you can read, and there's no exercises today. So please have a nice day, and review it. I think maybe perhaps you need to have the exam 2 this week. I'm not sure it's on Wednesday or Friday, but I think this lab is very important. So please review it and learn and understand all the functions. No, you don't need to edit any cells. You just need to run it and understand all the cells. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Tab 8 to new red codes only is also. I'll show you. Oh, you need to write the codes. You need to show the codes. Yeah. Show the codes and print out the results. Yeah. Okay. Hey, thank you guys.